Are you a bar manager? Do you own a bar?
I think that's a really obvious question, and I'm going to go ahead and say, of course I do.
Then this is the perfect game for you, because essentially this game, Flairtender, is designed to train you how to make mixed drinks.
That's kind of awesome.
I guess so, but the implementation was very much so lacking in my opinion. Hey guys, I'm Crypto Spook.
And this is Moriarty.
And yeah, so if you need a VR game to train people to make mixed drinks, this will do it. They had an interesting way to like measure the liquid and everything in it, and you could drink the alcohol, but that was about it.
I feel like it's probably cheaper to teach someone how to make a drink in VR than it is waste a bunch of Jack Daniels and expensive alcohol.
Wait, was that Jack Daniels there?
I think pretty clearly.
Yeah, that probably was Jack Daniels. It's a little bit ridiculous. There's probably some kind of patent infringement going on there or something.
Maybe. So did you have a good time with this?
I did not have a particularly good time at it because it was way too sensitive. Like, you had to be so freaking accurate with everything that it was dumb. They just expected too much from me. Like, they want my hands to be as steady as a surgeon's while I'm trying to serve alcoholic beverages, and I feel like that's an unrealistic expectation.
Well, yeah, you're garbage.
hey, f you, buddy.
That's really funny. So, it's something that you think you're not good at, but is interesting nonetheless.
I mean, I would say I'm pretty good at it, but I mean, I don't know exactly how accurate it is to say that my pouring skills, based off of the Vive wands, which are, let's be honest, they're not very good VR controllers in any way, shape, or form.
Well, they're better than no controllers.
They're better than an Xbox 360 controller, but I think we can both agree they're most certainly not better than the touch controllers that they put out with the upgraded, what do they call it, the Rift?
Oculus, what the f is wrong with you?
I can't remember the name of it. I don't use it. Anyway, so yeah, maybe the new touch controllers that Oculus put out are a lot better. And hopefully we'll get the knuckle controllers soon, and that will take care of a lot of the problems I had with this, because using a baseball bat to pour a shot is not the easiest thing in the world.
It just didn't feel natural.
Correct. It was way too sensitive, and then at other times way too insensitive. I wish that there was a better way to put that, but that's just how it is. Like, you notice how, like, I'm pouring, and it seems like when I try to put just a smidge more in, that's when it's like, nope, here's another 5 ounces.
Well, making drinks in an actual bar is probably not that easy either.
I also became a god while doing this, because there were several times where I tried to pour some liquid out of one glass into another, and there was more liquid left after I had poured some out. So I got liquid that came from nowhere.
Excellent. Well, you know, I mean, that's pretty exciting if you ask me. You found out that you have this power.
I think everybody would want that. If I could make more liquid than I started with.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What do you think about this game? What are your thoughts?
I think this is the kind of thing that's very interesting. I remember when they first announced this, I said, oh, hey, this looks pretty interesting. And that's kind of still how I feel. It's interesting.
I'm going to go ahead and go the complete opposite 180 on this. This is not at all interesting. I think it's kind of dumb. It is not a game. It's not something that I am interested in playing. It doesn't suit any of my interests in any way, shape, or form. Maybe it fits somebody else's idea of a good time, but not me. Now, what I do see this as being good for is training. This is exactly what this is. This is a training simulator for a job. So imagine this in the future when you want to train your employee to do some complex technical job without wasting a whole bunch of money on product that you need them to do. You could just have the game made in VR. Sure, it'll be a little bit of an upfront investment, but I imagine it'll save you quite a bit of time, especially the more expensive the thing that you need them to learn how to do is.
Well, we've always thought that VR will be a perfect way to train people. Even KFC's jumped in on that.
Yeah, KFC did have their VR training simulator. I didn't try it out, but I bet it was interesting.
I watched a video on it, and it's insane.
Is it like crazy? Like, does that crazy, creepy colonel like show up throughout the game?
So, you know, Cave Johnson from the Portal 2 series.
Yeah.
He's essentially that guy obsessed about chicken.
Do they have the guy who did the voice acting of Cave Johnson narrating throughout?
No, it's one of the weird actors who does the voices for the
Colonel?
The Colonel now.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Because if it was Cave Johnson, I'd be like, I'm going to go get that game right now. I don't care what I have to do to get it.
I don't think you can get it.
That's unfortunate.
This seems harder pouring shots like this.
It really is. I've seen bartenders do this before that aren't good at manually pouring drinks, I suppose. They have those tops for liquor bottles that as soon as you turn it upside down, it will allow, it'll pour 1 ounce exactly. You know what I'm talking about?
I do, yes. Every bar uses them.
So why in God's name does this bar not?
I don't know. I think you're right about that, though. It should definitely pour 1 ounce.
It should. It should be 1 ounce. And on top of that, how hard is it to freaking pour 1 glass into another? I think I'm pretty sure I could very easily pour a shot glass into a larger glass, but in VR, that is much harder.
Yeah, that's not something you could do.
What do you mean?
In real life, I don't think you could do that at all.
Pour a shot glass into a larger glass?
I don't feel like you have the dexterity to be able to do that.
I feel like you're just being insulting at this point.
Yeah.
I certainly have the dexterity to do that. In any case, this is the game. This is Flairtender. What are your thoughts?
Again, it looks interesting to me. I could see myself playing this and actually kind of enjoying it because it's all process-oriented stuff that seems kind of right up my alley. Is it a game? I don't know about that. It seems not quite a game. I feel like it would be super interesting to learn all of these different drinks and things and be able to be the cool guy at a party, you know what I mean? Where you're like, oh yeah, I can totally do that. Don't worry about it.
That's probably the only good takeaway from this, is that it could indeed teach you how to make all these drinks. But, I mean, there's not even customers for me to interact with.
That's true. There does seem to be some lacking in the game department. The next thing that they're actually adding to this game is patrons at the bar. You can do bar management, so you have to actually try and get money and have that kind of management experience. And you can name and customize your bar. So that is coming.
Okay, so it looks like they intend to add those things.
Right. I mean, I think anyone who plays this would be able to see that there are a couple of interesting problems here. Now, the only bugs that this developer has listed on his Trello is that he thinks it's hard to choose garnishes or remove garnishes from a drink that you're creating. That's really the only thing I see as far as a bug.
It's just not for me.
Which is fair enough. I plan on trying it out quite a lot because I want to learn how to make all sorts of cool drinks so that when someone's like, oh man, like, what do you think I should have to drink? I'll be like,
I could sure go for an Irish mule.
Exactly, you know, I'll know what they're talking about and I'll be able to be like, yeah, you know what? Me too.
See, now I could do that same thing, but I would just say, okay, Google, how do I make an Irish mule? And they would say, that's not an actual drink. And I'd be like, well...
You're right, you could do that, but that would just make you a liar. So actually it fits right in with your personality.
So knowing is half the battle for Moriarty. Got it.
So there you go, guys. That is Flairtender. This is $14.99. It's a $15 game. It does have a free demo, so you can try it out first if you'd like to see if it's the type of thing that you actually enjoy. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. But if you did like it, why don't you watch another one up there in the corner right now? And as always,
we'll see you on the next one.